All right, Angie, let me ask you a couple questions before we get started. What program are you using now for doing your utility billing?
Now we are using Encode
Okay,
with
how you like it?
Technologies. Oh, we like it. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and are you using that for doing your utilities and your accounting, or just your utilities?
For everything. We've got it for collections, billing, accounting.
All right, and you bill for what services? Water?
Water, sewer, and trash.
Okay,
and then I
good.
also bill for taxes and accounts receivables.
Oh, okay, good. And now I'm going to ask the important question. If you like your other program, was there a particular reason why you want to look at ours today?
I don't. Just always kind of looking to see what else is out there. We got a phone call asking if we'd be interested in the webcast, and I said, sure, why not?
Oh, she's pretty good then. She must be pretty good at doing that, so that's good. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you a little indication of what we do here today, and then we'll get right into it. How's that?
Okay.
Okay, first of all, how long have you been doing this for?
I've been here for 16 years.
Okay, so you've gone through the DOS age,
Yes.
when you had a program that was probably a DOS program?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And you went through a Windows program, which you're using right now, and what you haven't experienced yet, which is now called web-based system. Because everybody went through the DOS program when you had the green screens on your computers and you had to do all kinds of things with it. Then everybody went through the Windows version of the program. And those are all great programs, and in fact, I still have some out there like that. But what I wanted to do is come up with something that's more 21st century. And the reason, how many bills do you send out usually?
Water bills is right at $1,500 a month.
Okay, and obviously, a city of 1,500 water bills cannot afford what a city of 10,000 or 20,000 bills can afford, because obviously they got more money coming in through revenues through that kind of thing. So there's a lot of times you can't offer things to your customers because you just can't afford to do it. For example, do you take credit cards?
We do, yeah. And that's just
what does that cost you for credit
cards? I wasn't really involved with that side of it. That was the collection side, but I know that it was pretty pricey to get out.
Paying a good price for that. See, our program, for example, will let the customer pay with a credit card, and it costs you nothing. All right, that's a good price.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The other thing it lets the customer do is go online and look at their own bill. All right, and print out their own bill if they want to. They can also choose not to get a bill on a printed bill card, for example, but get it through email. And that way. Now, in our program, if a customer goes and pays their bill at 10 o'clock at night online and makes a payment, the next morning when you come in, you'll have a report out that they made a payment online, and their payment will be on their account already. So there's a lot of really good things here that makes it really a 21st century program. So that's what I'm going to do here to show you a little bit about that today, okay? All right, first thing I'm going to do is just like any other program, you have an icon on your desktop. You see the one that says UBMax right there?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm going to double click. What I'm going to do is open up the program for me. Here we go. And you can see right now it asks for a username and password. Now, here's what's really nice about this program. If you have 5 people using this, or 8 people, or 5 people, or 3 people, they can all be in the program at the same time, and it costs you no more than if you have one program.
Okay.
All right. So everybody can be in doing meter readings. Everybody can be in doing payments. Somebody can be doing payments. Somebody can be doing notes. Somebody can be doing transactions. Everybody can be in the system doing what they have to do, and it makes no difference to you if they have. There's no extra cost to you if they have one person or if you have all of them doing that same time. All right. So everybody has their own username and password. All right. Mm-hmm. So that because they have their own username and password, everything you do is in your name. Everything. Somebody else. What's the other gals? Some of the other people there?
We've got Donna.
All right. So everything Donna does is in her name. All right. Mm-hmm. So that if you want to know who gave that credit to somebody, if you bring up that credit, you can actually look at it and see who did that credit for the customer. Or adjustment, or there. So it's kind of neat. So I'm going to sign in right now with my own name here. Here goes Dennis, and I'm going to log in right now. There we go. And the first thing I see when I get in the program here are these charts that come in the program. All right, and that's a well chart, a vacancy chart, a division breakdown, and a sales chart. And the blue happens to be last year's data, and the red happens to be this year's data. All right, so what this does is shows me where I'm at in sales. Now, it could be in thousands of gallons or millions of gallons. It all depends on you, or it could be in dollar amounts. It doesn't make any difference. This one here, now, do you get your water from wells?
No.
You buy it, or?
We buy part of it, but then we also, most of it comes from our reservoir.
All right, so you have this could be a reservoir reading here, and this could be where you buy it here. You can say, okay, the reservoir, we got 1,433,000 gallons from the reservoir, and we bought 406,000 gallons. You can see this at any time on your system. It always will be consistent for you at this point. All right, but that way, if you know what you bring into the water, then we compare it to what is being sold. So we might say, well, you brought in 2 million gallons of water, but you only sold 1,850,000. That might mean you're missing 150,000. It could be a leak.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So we're able to tell you that information then. This one here tells you how many people in your system have water and how many have been vacant or been cut off. All right?
Okay.
This one here will break down the areas of town for you, or by class. This could be a residential, this could be commercial, industrial, public authority, or northwest and northeast or northwest part of town. Whatever you had there can show you where most of your water is. And that way also, if you do have a huge increase all of a sudden, again, that might mean there's a leak in that area. All right? So it kind of neat to be able to do that. The thing on the right-hand side, is you can see it says last bill date up there.
Mm-hmm.
That tells me the last time I did my billing, and the last time I did my closeout, and the last time I did late fees. These are just information things that are always right there for you. All right?
Okay.
Then below that, you see 5 icons there. Do you see those 5?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
All right. The first one is a help book. Now, most utility billing systems are very complicated, and you have to know a lot about them, and you have to have a manual in some cases or a help pages. What we do here is a little different. If whatever page I'm on, if I click on that book, that'll come up and tell me what I can do on that page. For example, if I go to billing right here and I click on billing and click on the help book, that'll come up and tell me my steps to doing a billing. All right.
Okay.
So again, if I'm in customers, I go to add tenant landlord. And I click in the book. That'll just tell me about the tenant landlord information.
Okay.
So again, I can find these things out very quickly without having to stop and go consider a book if I need to book. All right. The one below that is for ordering supplies. Now, do you do a postcard?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Right. So we do a postcard also, and so you click on here. You want to order bill cards. You click on here, and you can see this is the type of bill card that we're using. This is 6 inches by 4 1/4 here, and the top part of the card is what the customer keeps, and the part here below, the small part here, is what comes back to you along with the payment.
Right.
And there's 2 cards to each 8.5 by 11 sheet then. All right, and you can buy them. Right online there, they're $2,000 a box for $89. So they're very inexpensive. You can say you could order the blue cards or the green cards and how many boxes you want, fill it out, and then send the request to us. What's nice about this is you don't have to stop and send us an email or call us. You can be right in the excuse me. Let me get a drink of water real quick.
Okay.
You could be right in the middle of posting payments and say, oh, I need bill cards, and place the order without skipping a beat. You could go right back to where you were then at posting payments, for example. Because these always stay here no matter where you're at in the program. If I go to reports, for example, you see they still stay there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's go back here. The next one below that is for, this is really neat. This is a note feature. And I wanted a note feature because I saw so many computers that had little yellow Post-it notes all over the computer.
Uh-huh.
And I said, okay, let's have 2 types of notes, public notes and personal reminder note. A public note would be, let's say that the consul wants to review rates in April. And you say, okay, that's fine. When you click on this, what happens, it goes to everybody's computer that has access to the system. That note will appear on their system then. All right, so they'll see what's going on. You can even write yourself a note at home, and the next morning you'll have that note on the computer in here, anyways.
Okay.
Okay. So it's kind of, you can say, oh, I got to remember to do this, this, this. You write a note for it on your home computer on the note feature, and tomorrow morning when you go in the office there, every one of them will be right there. So it's kind of neat. The other one is a personal reminder note. A personal reminder note could be like, call Dennis, that's me, about rates before meeting. All right, and then you put that as a personal reminder note, and you put a date on it. And this way you can put a date by going, okay, I'm going to have that meeting in April. It's going to be April 17th, so I want to call Dennis around the 14th and talk to him about rates so I know what I'm talking about. You save that, and that becomes instant personal message. Now, this only shows on your system then.
Okay.
All right. Now, what happens on 414, a box will come up on the screen saying, don't forget to call Dennis about rates. So it's a nice little reminder that comes up. Then you can say, oh, yeah, I'm going to call him. Then when you do it, you click on it, and then you can remove that afterwards.
Okay.
Right? You can also do this. This is where it really comes in handy. Bill Smith calls you up and says, I can't come and pay my bill till the 21st. I don't want to be cut off, but I will be on the 21st. Can you hold off till that time? And you say, yes, I can. And then you put a reminder here that he'll be in on the 21st. And then when if he does show up, then you can remove that. If he doesn't show up, then you have to take other action.
Right.
So, again, nice little reminder system, or it could be when somebody's going away on vacation. It could be picking a babysitter at 3 o'clock. Makes no difference. Whatever you want to do, then you can remove them as they don't become necessary anymore.
Okay.
All right? Kind of a neat little thing to have. It eliminates a lot of these notes on there. The one below this is we call her the girl with the green sweater. And what she is, she's our support person. If you have a question, you click on here, and you can actually then type the message, Dennis, where do I do late charges? And you can ask, it'll be me or Annie or Jeremy or Douglas will respond back. Go up to the top where it says financial and come down to where it says manage late fees. So you don't have to get on the phone, no emails. It's instant messaging between us. All right?
Okay.
If also you could click on Soft Assist right here, and it'll let me connect our computers just like we're doing right now today, where I can show you what to do, or you can show me what you're doing, and I can tell you if you're doing something right, wrong, or right. So really kind of cool. All right?
Yeah.
Now, the one below this is the guy with the yellow hat, all right? And do you do work orders?
Yes.
All right. One of the things about work orders that we like to do, and I'm going to show you how ours works. Let's click on here. And up will come this, and I can bring up a name, and I can bring up a name. I can put in the first name of the customer, let's say JESS is Jessica Davis, or I could bring up the last name and bring her up that way too. Either way I want to bring her up. But I can also bring her up, if I don't know her name, I can bring her up by 3651, oops, too many ones, Miller Drive. And I can bring her up that way too as well. Or let's go back to 3651. That'd be better. And that was Miller, though. See what I'm doing? 3651, and let me get rid of that. Miller Drive. And that would be Jessica then, all right?
Okay.
And I could also put in her account number if I wanted to also. So it makes no difference. But now I can have this. Let's say she calls in. And she says, hey, my meter is leaking all around the house right there. It's inside the house, but it's leaking like crazy. Can you have somebody come out? And you can say, yes, you can. And you can have different techs. Like, for example, I can add a tech in here. Let's call him Joe. And I can add Joe in there, and maybe you have another tech or 3 or 4 techs, and you got Joe right here, and you see there's a picture of Joe, but I can actually have a real picture of Joe, and there's a reason for that. So I can add an image of Joe in here, and it'll be Joe for the real Joe, not just a cartoon Joe, all right?
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
So now you say, okay, what's the problem? She tells you, say, okay, that's a line leak. So you pick the type of job. If it's not in there, you can add one or remove one. But I go down here, I go line leak, for example. It could be reread the meter if you're setting them out, but let's use line leak, all right? And then you can put in here the due date. You can say, well, he can't do it today. He's already on a job. I'm going to set it for tomorrow, for him to come out there tomorrow. And also you can put in a description, leaking around meter, and watch out for dog in yard. especially if it's a Rottweiler.
Yeah.
All right, so now here's what I can do with this. I can save this. And when I save this, what it'll ask me if I want to print this. Now, here's the difference between ours and every other system out there. First of all, there's the work order. Number one, it's got a picture, the real picture of Joe on there, so that you can turn around and you can print this out. But even better than that, you can email this right here, right where the envelope is. You can send an email to Joe and to Jessica at the same time of this work order.
Okay.
All right? So that they get one. Number one, she sees who it is that's going to come out to her house, because if she looks outside and sees someone walk around, she may be concerned who that is. You know, where here oh, that's Joe from the water department. I see that. Or, not only that, but Joe gets it and says, you know what? It's set for tomorrow, but it's right on my way home. I could probably call her at this number and see if I can stop by on my way home and do it right then. So,
Okay.
a lot of good things for doing that. Now, he can get this on his tablet, on his cell phone, if he's got a smartphone, or his laptop, or his desktop, whatever it is, he can get that email wherever it goes to. All right? Now, he can also print this out and tell what he did when he's out there. He removed the reading, or removed and put a new install in there, a new meter ID, and what he did when he was out there, fixed the leak or whatever he did. So it's a really good way to do that. Now I'm going to close this work order, and then what happens is we can give Joe access to this part of the system only, not to any place else. He can't go anywhere, but we can limit him to this place. And now he can come in here at the end of the day and go in there, okay, here's my work order today, and I can close this work order because I did that, so he can click on it, and you go down here and it says close work order. When he goes to close the work order, it's going to ask him what he did. He can say replace meter, and then he can put in the new meter ID number that's going in there. Then he can put in final read, and he put in the final read that was in that one. Then he put in the start read, and he put it in the start read. It was the new meter, so it's 0. And then he can say repaired line, whatever you want to do. Then at that point in time, he can say, well, there's a charge for doing that, and he can actually go in there and go down to where it says debit and go down the list and find parts, or maybe it's a reconnect fee, for example. And he clicks on that, and you see there's a $20 reconnect fee here. And then he says save. And what happens here is that becomes part of her system right now. It just put $20 reconnect fee on her account.
Okay.
All right. Now, I can also go down here and get a printout. If I want to get today's printout here, I can go to print this and come up and show me that report of what work orders there was, and, of course, whether it's open or closed. All right.
Okay.
Good. What do you think of the program so far?
I'm liking the work order side of it.
Good. It's kind of nice, the work order, because what we did here is, now let's go take a look at what happened to the customer. Let's go back into customers. Now, it's very simple. You have drop-down menus just like you do anyplace else, but it's very, very simple. It says customers, and you're going to inquire, edit customers. If I bring up Jessica, if I bring her up here, and there's Jessica right there. If I bring her up, if I go down to where it says profile and work orders, because remember he put the numbers on there for the new meter ID and the readings and everything?
Uh-huh. Yep.
You have to use that to do a new meter. You have to do exchange meter, don't you?
Yeah.
So here you go right down to where it says profile and work order, and you'll see all the information he did on that work order right here. Replace the meter, and there's the meter ID number, and final read what it was, and the start read was 0. So you got all that information. He did that right there for yourself, and each work order will be on the screen like that then. All right? Let's go back here now. So here we are. We at the customer record. We have the customer information right here. We have how much she owes over here. We have it. She is late. She's not a delinquent or anything else, but or not delinquent. She's not cut off, inactive, or final, but she's a normal customer, but she is late on her bill. All right, okay. So she owes $105.37. And below that, you have the account information, the service location, the contact information, her billing location, and even an alternate billing location. She has one. Now, two things we have on here that makes it different. If she has an email, if we go Jessica at AOL.com, for example, and you want to send her an email, and you click on email right here, what it does, it preloads up your email with her pre-address on there. There it is. And then all you do is put the letter. Maybe you're writing her a letter because she was supposed to be in yesterday with a payment in full, but she didn't come in. Now you got to tell her, look, it can only give you the end of the day today. Otherwise, we're going to have to cut you off. You can do that. Or maybe it's a letter saying, look, we're going to be putting new water lines in and let you know that your road's going to be torn up for the next 2 weeks. Good communication with your customers is always important.
Mm-hmm.
Right. We also do have, in case Joe doesn't know how to get out to this address. Now, of course, this address is not real, Your City, USA. But if you click on View Map, what it does, if it has the real address there, it brings up MapQuest for you. All right. And then you can actually, it'll zoom in right to whatever city that is at. Just go, and then it will actually plot how to get out there. And then you can give this to Joe for him how to get up to that address. And you can even do a satellite view map if you wanted to. All right? So kind of nice to be able to do that. You can print that out along with the work order too as well.
Right.
All right? Now, excuse me, or he can do it himself for that matter. We also have the financial right here, the services and billing, what services he has, his usages are right here. Here's the profile work order we talked about. Here's the customer notes. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Again, any past history would be under history then. All right? Let's start out with the financial. I'm going to drink of water, though. Okay, I've still got my voice. All right, so, this is a perfect client. This is exactly, if you look back at history, you can see the customer was billed in the yellow parts. He was billed for water, sewer, trash, and fire protection. Obviously, if you didn't have fire protection, they wouldn't even show there. But it was billed for water, sewer, and trash. And then he paid his bill. Then he was billed again. Then he paid his bill. Then he paid it again. Perfect client, right? Mm-hmm. So here we have the last one. They had a bill of $85.37. He paid $85.37, so he had a zero balance. Then he was billed these on the next billing, and then you see that he had that reconnect fee for that $20 we did.
Right.
Now, something special about this. You see it says unbilled?
Right.
Unbilled means, like, when do you normally do your billing, by the way, Angie?
End of the month, around the 24th, 25th.
So anything you bill after the 24th becomes part of the next bill you can do on the 24th of the next month, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And those things go in there. Think of it this way. Think of it that I did a billing for these 4 items, and I did my closeout or my month end, and this became part of the next bill that they're going to get. All right? Now, here's the thing about that. If you put a reconnect fee and somebody, after you did your billing, you sent your bills out, and then you did a reconnect fee, and then they call up and scream and yell at you, they don't deserve that reconnect fee charge or blah, 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 and you decide to remove that, the only way you can remove that is by going back to transaction and doing the reverse of that transaction, correct?
Right. Mm-hmm.
All right. How about this? And understand, if you've ever done it to yourself, and I've done it, where I've gone in there and said, okay, I got to give them a credit for that, where I should have gave them a debit, and then you end up with 2 or 3 different transactions for the same thing, trying to get it straightened out. This is simple. All you do is click on this last item right here, and you click on the word adjustment. When you do that, it will then let you put a message here, and it's going to void that transaction for $20. You say customer calls and complain. And removed by Angie. All right? Okay. And then I can say here, save that. When I do that, watch what happens. See it disappear? Mm-hmm. It doesn't have to go on the bill. Remember, it hasn't been billed yet, so why not just remove it?
Right.
All right. Now, the other customer says to me, well, yeah, but what if somebody ever asked me what happened to that $20 reconnect fee? I said, very simply, if you change anything in this program that has to do with money, that includes dates, readings, or dollar amounts, what happens if you do any adjustment in them, it automatically creates a note for you under customer notes.
Okay.
So here it says, removed unbilled transaction for reconnect fee, the amount of $20, note, customer called and complained and removed by Angie. Okay. So you'll always be able to go look at the notes to see what it really happened. Mm-hmm. All right? Kind of cool, huh? All right?
Yeah.
So now we're here at this point in time where let's take a couple different scenarios. Let's say she calls you up. She says, "Hey, Angie, I lost my bill. I don't know where it is. I got little pieces that the post office delivered. All right, and can you send me another bill out?" How hard is that to do?
Yeah, it's a pain in the butt.
How about this? You click on any element of the bill. It doesn't make any difference what you click on. These are what we call the elements of the bill. And let's just click on water, and let's go to print. And I go to print here, and look what it does. It brings up and prints the bill, and I can print the bill out right now.
Okay.
All right? Now, here's the nice thing, is that if I want to email it, I can email it to the customer by clicking here. The problem is they don't have a bill card at their office. All they have is blank paper at their home or office, right?
Right.
So what we did is we said this to the system. What we can do is we can change the print format to what we call a PDF format. If we do that, because we're going to email it to them, when I go to print this, you'll see it comes up on an 8.5 by 11 sheet then. All right, with all the information on here, and it has all the information, including the readings and dates and everything, the total they owe. And at that point in time, I can just turn around and emails to them, and they can print out on their own printer. All the boxes will show up there just the way it's supposed to do that.
Mhm.
All right, so then they can turn around, cut this off, and send it in with their payment. It's that simple.
Okay.
All right, so it's really kind of neat to be able to do that. Now, let's take another scenario. Let's say that you had to take fire protection off. They call and say, "Well, we don't have fire protection. I want that removed from my bill." And you click on that there, and you say adjustment. And again, there's the $5. You say bill in error. Now, when you do that, you save it. Because it was already billed, I can't just delete it. I have to have a line item that shows what we did there.
Right.
All right. So now we're down to 8037. Now, if you want to print a bill, again, remember you can't do this in your other program. But if I want to reprint the bill here now from last month, I click on here and say print again. It won't change the past bill. The past bill is going to be exactly what it was. But now it says this on the bill. This bill has been adjusted. If you have paid the full amount, your adjustment will show on your next bill. If not paid, your adjusted balance now is 8037.
Okay.
So again, you're able to provide them with what they want without having to go through all kinds of work to try to get that done. And there it is. There's the new bill form at that point in time. And if it didn't work out or was wrong, remember this is unbilled. You can still remove that at this point. All right, because it's unbilled. Anything that's unbilled, you can remove. All right. So let's take another scenario. Let's say if I look at that last bill, in fact, if I look at that last bill, you'll see that they were billed for 7,969 gallons right there.
Mhm.
And there's the reading, 111,575. Let's assume for a minute you found out 2 weeks after you did the billing that was the wrong reading. All right? What do you do then?
All kinds of paperwork and adjustments.
Right. And you got to sit there with a calculator and try to figure it out, don't you?
Right. Mhm.
How about this? You click on water, and you click on the word adjustment now. When I do that, it's going to ask me, do I want to do a financial adjustment or a usage adjustment? And we're assuming that it was a usage adjustment because it was the wrong reading. So I'm going to click on usage adjustment. There's that reading, 111,575 was my last reading. Let's assume for a minute that should have been 108,575. All right? So all I have to do is change this to 108,575 and put in here, read error. All right, and then all I have to do is click on the word save, and when I do that, look what it does. It gives them a water adjustment and a sewer adjustment automatically in the program and reduces the bill down to $69.87.
Wow.
All right, now the customer says, okay, good, now send me a bill. And if you say, do you want it by email? You click on here and go to full page, and you go to print, and what will happen, oops, I'm going to check the box here. You go to print this, and now we'll not only come up and have the bill, and it's the same bill as the last time, the 8537, but now it says here, this bill has been adjusted. If you have paid the full amount, your adjustment will show the next bill. If not paid, its balance is $69.87. And you can see the usage has dropped down to $49.69.
Right.
All right. So there, not only can you give it to her in a matter of minutes, but you can have it and pay her bill online right after that at that point in time. But I mean, you can't get much easier than that, can you?
No, that's pretty simple.
All right. Now let's take the next scenario. She says, "Okay, good. My bill is the right amount now. I want to pay my bill by credit card." Well, she can do it two ways. First of all, she doesn't have to have you there at all. She can go online, and there's a website that she'd go to that she can pay her bill online, or she can do it this way. You can click on Make a Payment right here. See where it says Make Payment?
Uh-huh.
Click on there. It'll come up and say, "Okay, your balance is $69.87. Do you want to pay by credit or debit card or by e-check?" And she says, "I want to do it by credit card." You click there, and you say Apply. When you do that, and when you go there, and you go to here where it says email address, let's put in Jessica at Jessica@AOL.com if she agrees. Now here is the thing: it's $69.87. There's a $3 charge to her. All right, not to you. No money to you whatsoever. It's a $3 charge to her, so it's $72.87. Now let me ask you a question: how much is your late charge?
Our late charge is 5%.
All right, so 5% would be about $4.50, or about something like that. So this is less than a late charge would be. If that's correct, she clicks on the Accept button, and she puts her name, and she puts in here her Visa card, and she puts in the card, and she puts in the date of expiration, and then she put her address, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's it. Let's use Excelsior here where I live. 55321, and I click on Verify at that point in time. And what it does, it comes up and says, "Okay, that's correct. Submit it." And when you submit that, 4 things happen. Number 1, it sends a copy of the receipt to her email address. All right? And the payment was successful, so we're going to go back here now, and we're going to go back where it says Return to Customer Inquiry, and we go back to Jessica. You see she owes no money now?
Uh-huh.
And I go to Financials, you'll see that there's the payment on her account. All that happens now at the same time, money's being taken out of her account and being moved to your bank account all at the same time.
Okay.
And a payment's being put on all automatically. You don't have to go in and put a payment on if you, because I don't know if you have to manually put a payment on everybody's account that use a credit card, do you?
I think that she does. I don't know that,
Yeah,
but I think that she
probably does. I don't know of any other place that does that other than us. But that's a really nice way to be able to do that. A couple other things we'll go through here where it says Service and Billings. Underneath that, that's where you set up what they have: water, sewer, trash, and fire protection. If they don't have fire protection, you just uncheck them. All right. What status there is, or where their classes, residential or commercial, and then here's a nice one: bill delivery method. Do they want to get a printed bill or do they want to get an email bill? If they want to get an email, you put their email here, and instead of getting a printed bill, this will send a bill directly to them by email. You can imagine how much money that would save you. I mean, you're doing what, 1,500 bills?
Yeah.
All right. Think about it this way: you're spending right now about 43 cents, 0.43. By the time you get the postcard, postage, and the ink and stuff like that, times 1,500, you're spending $645 a month times 12. You're spending $7,000 a year on postage and cards right now. If we cut that down by a third or a half, that's a huge amount of money you could save.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So again, all you have to do is, and more customers are getting much more used to doing things by email than they are anything else. Hold on one second, would you please? Hold on.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay.
Okay, so, excuse me. So there you have all the information right there. You have usages. You have all your usage you ever had. You can even adjust usages back 3 or 4 months from now if you want to. And same thing with, by the way, same thing, if you wanted to print a bill from back in October, you could print a bill from back October if you wanted to.
Okay.
So really kind of neat to be able to do that. Then you have, of course, your work orders. There's your work order. Then you have, like I said, here's all your messages now that we did. Here's the one for the meter reading change. Here's the one for fire protection. Here's that one for removing that $20. So everything is going to be recorded for you in there. Any question, anything so far?
I think the only question that I would have is when we're printing the bills, you said that 2 bills print per sheet.
Yes.
I do have that set up now where I've got them printing 4 per sheet. And
usually they're a little bit smaller bill though, aren't they? So our bills are 6 by 4 1/4. Yours are probably 3 by 5.
Ours are like 4 1/2 by 5 1/2.
Yeah, and ours are 6.
Or 4 1/4. 4 1/4.
4 1/4 by what?
By 5 1/2.
By 5 1/2. So, and it could be done that way. We just never did that way. Most of our customers like the idea of having a little bit bigger bill because in some of the cases, believe it or not, it's the ink, the printing's a little bit bigger. They like that sometimes.
Right,
but
yeah.
we can always look at that. But how much do you pay for those bill cards?
Trying to think. I just ordered some here a while back. It's actually not too bad, and I actually have a local printer here that does everything for me. He custom cuts them and sizes them, perforates
Sure,
them,
and
does
there's
all that for me.
probably a way we can do that with that too as well. It's just the fact is that ours, we keep 100,000 in stock, so you never have to worry about keeping any stock on them. Right? And 1,500, you could order a box a month and never have to have a huge stock at hand at that point. But again, that's something we can cross, bridge we can cross when we come to that.
Okay.
All right. Excuse me. All right. So let's take the next scenario here. One more scenario. Let's use somebody else though. We used Jessica enough here. Let's go to Boston Mary here. Mary Boston. So let's say Mary is going to be. She wants to do a final bill because she's leaving. All right, and you go out and get a reading, you come back, and you have to do a final billing. Well, in most cases, you have to go someplace else and do a billing and all kinds of rigmarole to go through things. But here with ours, what you do is you click on where it says final, right here. It comes up and says, what date change is this? You click on here and say, okay, it's going to be as of the 4th. You can say what was the due date, and you can say it's still the same due date, the end of the month, they have to pay it by. But also asks you if there's any fee for doing that, a shut-off or shut-on fee, and it asks you a forwarding address also at that point in time. So if there's a forwarding address in there, you could do that too as well if you have that, because if you don't get that, you may never get your money. All right?
Right.
Then it asks you if you want to apply a deposit, and it asks you if you want to apply current charges. And let's assume for a minute you do. Let's say that the last bill you sent them was on the 1st, and let's use the 1st as the date right here. There. So you want to bill them even from the 1st to the 4th, in other words, all right? Because they use a lot of water during that time, all right?
Okay.
And so now you can choose if you want to do a bill card or do you want to do a full page, depending on whether or not you want to email it to them. So let's put in 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 3, and they use 2,100 gallons during those 4 days. So now I can do a preview of that bill, and that'll show me the bill, what it's going to be, showing me the $100 deposit that's being refunded to them. And here it comes up, and it's $53.06 is what they're going to owe. And then again, you can just email this directly to the customer if you want to. All right? And when you save that, now I'm going to save it here. And there it's saved, and that's all there is. And if you notice, it takes them off the address now, so you can put somebody new in there if you have somebody new that wants to go in there right away.
Okay.
We did one more thing on here that our customers, sometimes customers do a final bill for a customer, and then they realize that the customer is not moving out. They call them back and say, no, we're going to stay here. Well, they already did a final bill for the customer, and that becomes a nightmare trying to undo.
It does, yes.
Right? So we put a little button here called undo. All right? And what it does, it gives you 30 days until the next billing, in other words, to say, well, wait a minute, they called up, said they want to go back in there. I click on undo. What it does, it takes away the final bill and takes away, it puts it back there with the same account number.
Okay.
Like it never happened. Kind of neat,
Okay.
huh? All right. So again, these are things that our customers ask for, that we realize that these are things that customers really want, because otherwise they become a nightmare trying to do these things sometimes. So that's as you can see also, most of the things we do in the program is done right from this part of the program. Because instead of having to go all over the place to do different things, why not just have it right where it belongs, right here?
Right.
Now, if you want to look at a payment and see what was included in that payment, if I click on there, you'll see that it'll come up and show me the breakdown. How much was sewer, how much was water, trash, and so on.
Okay.
All right. That's kind of neat, huh?
Yeah.
So if a customer says, well, what did that include? You can tell them like that. So it's really kind of neat way to be able to do that. All right, so let's take another scenario. Let's take meter readings. Now, how do you get meter readings? Do you get them by electronically, or do you have somebody go out and read them?
We have somebody go out and read them with the handhelds, and actually,
Which handheld do you use?
I use Datamatic Roadrunners.
Okay, are they like a census meter? They're a touch read, or are they?
A touch read, yes.
Okay, so they're a touch read. So what happens is, just to show you what it looks like, and a lot of them, by the way, they do use the same format, even though they're data matter. They could be Census, Badger, Neptune, all those different ones. Well, we have a handheld system right here. Let me open it up here.
Okay, so that's included in your system?
Yes. So if they have Census, or they see a lot of ones, they use their own system, but they reader, but they use the Census meters type thing. So it's the same. We have most everyone here: Census, Hershey, Scion, Neptune, Badger, Itron, Metron, and MeterPro. We have them all right here. Anybody can select it. So if you have the Census reader, it would automatically, all you have to do is select which route you're going to do, and then you just tell it, download data for the handheld. Then after they get the readings and they come back, you upload the readings to UBMax.
Okay. Now I'm actually having to use a different system for the handheld, so I'm having to do exports and imports.
Oh my God, you're kidding! You don't want to do that. That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
That's a lot. About that, our program will do that without any problem. So let's show you what it looks like. Let's go to post meter readings. Normally, what you would get is, if there's a data handheld one that says load up from handheld, you click on there, and then it would load up all your clients just like this, but they'd have all readings there posted already. All right. Then you could go through the readings and look at them and see, if there's anybody you have to adjust or anything that's wrong. Now, if you don't have a meter reading for somebody, if you click on that little icon in front that looks like a little calculator right there, if I click on that one, it'll estimate it for me.
Okay.
All right.
And now,
I'm going to do
reports from here that I can run?
Oh yeah, I'm going to do an estimate right here,
Okay.
just for everybody right now. So you can do an estimate right here, and I can do a print report, and I can do a print report right here. I'll show you, bring it up here. There, show you the account number, the customer, the address, the meter, the current, previous, and usage, and the reading date.
Okay.
All right. So you have all that right there. All these are nice reports, by the way. What's nice about these reports, a lot of reports, like you can see down here. Let me go down to on page 4, and let's use Helen here as an example. All right. What I can do, if I go back to page 1 here, all right, and I want to look for Helen, and you could be spending hours looking for Helen sometimes, especially if you've got 1,500 accounts, all right? If I right-click on here and go down to Find, I can just type in Helen and hit Enter, and there's Helen right there.
Okay.
All right, so we can do a search on all the reports, which is really kind of nice. If you got 1,500 reports and you want to find a certain dollar amount or a certain reading, right, you can do it just by doing a right-click and go down to Find. So it's kind of a neat on there. So that's the report there. I'm going to close it down. The reports, I should say also the reports. What's nice about the reports is you can save these reports. You click on here and you can save the reports. Or you can email them to your auditor if you want to.
Okay.
So the other thing you can do is email them directly to your, if you have a engineer that wants to look at their readings to compare what they should be charging, that's a good way to do it. All right? All right, I'm going to post them right now. And it's going through the posting, and they're done. So if I ever want to go back in here, though, I can look at all my meters and load up all the meters. There's nothing saying that I can't go back and change something afterwards.
Okay.
All right? Okay, let's go to financial. Two things here I want to talk about here is posting payments. And let's say I want to do a payment here. Let's do account number 10402 and hit enter. There's Steve Wood here. Now, he's paying by check. I can put a check number here and click on the word apply. It puts it down below as a payment. If I want to put in 10204, you'll see that is Anderson here, and maybe he's paying cash. And I can click on that and put it down below there. Let's do one more. Let's say Joe Kennedy right here. And I'm going to put him in a money order, and I put a money order number there. And click on apply. So there's my 3 payments right here. Now, I can print a report out right from here, but this report will only show me what is being posted so I can make sure I'm not posting the wrong amount. And I can click on print right here. It'll show me the type of payment and how much it was and the total. That way, and it will also show you total money orders, total checks, and total cash. All right? But this way I can see if I didn't put any, so if I put $840 rather than $84.
Right.
Once I post this, let me go ahead and post this. I can go look at my payment report now. This is the payment report that you're going to need. When you go to payment report and you go to payments right here and say, give me all of today's payments. Now, we just did 3 payments, right?
Right.
But we also did a 4th payment. We did by credit card, didn't we?
Yes.
So now we're going to say, give me all today's payments. I'm going to click on print. And what it'll do, it'll show me all the 4 payments I did. Here's Robert Anderson. Here's the Jessica Davis for the credit card. Here's Joe Kennedy and Stephen Wood right here. All 4 accounts are right there. It shows you the amount that they paid, and then it shows you the total that they paid, $319. Then it will break down and show you how much was the total sewer, total water, total trash, total furniture that was brought in. All right? And then it shows you how many were money orders, how many were credit cards, how many were checks, and how many were cash. Something you'd like to have, right?
Yeah.
Well, that way you have your breakdowns, and that's what you need to have. Any questions on that part?
No.
As long as I'm in reports, I might as well show you this. Do you know how to use Excel?
Yes.
All right. All of our reports have an added advantage. Under payments, you see where it says report format, it says Excel. Excuse me. You see where it says Excel there?
Yes.
If I click on Excel and go to print, what it does, it not only gives me a file, it actually opens up Excel for me and brings the data over right into Excel. Oops, it's on my other page here. Let me bring it over here. Let me close that screen here. I had my program was open in the other system here. Let me close this one. And let me close that old screen. There we go. So here's the report that shows your payments that came over. All 4 payments, you can do anything else you want with this. So it's kind of neat to be able to do it that way. If I wanted to go ahead and bring up my age balance report, and I want to bring that up in an Excel format and go to print, this will bring it up, tell it to open it up, and it opens up in an Excel format that way so I can look at all my age receivables this way. I can even take these amounts right from here, copy these, paste them over here. Let me go here. Then I can take and add up these columns only if I wanted to. And then I have my totals down at the bottom right there.
Okay.
So you can do a lot of things. If I wanted to, I could even take this one here and make that into a chart. For a line chart, if I wanted to make a line chart like that, I could make a line chart like that for that. So it's kind of neat. Anyways, so all the reports you can do that with, you can put them out to Excel format if you want to, just by going to check and go to Excel. So we have all your reports right here that you can do that with. So whether it be a transaction history report, services sold report, usage history report, everything you'd want is in here for reports, all right? And if you were doing a regular report, let's say age balance in a regular PDF, it would look like this. Here's your age balance.
Okay.
All right. All right, let me close that one. Last thing I want to show you under financial is late charges. You click on late fees right here, and you can go in here and you can say, okay, everybody who is late as of, you could say as of yesterday. And then you could say load up everybody who was still owed a balance as of yesterday, and there it comes up here with everybody that had a balance on their account as of yesterday. On there. There we go. So you have everybody in there that had a balance as of then. You can see, oops, I got too much. Somebody flew around here. Let me change my late fee amount. Somebody put 200% here. Let's put 20. Let's put $10. 200% would be good. I mean, that would.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's go back here. So let's go back to the financial. Manage late fees. Tell it to load. So here it's loading up. You see it shows $90 and it shows $905 is going to charge you for a late charge. All right. Now you can do a couple different things. You can print a bill card out, and the bill card will print out and show you right on the bill card that they have a late fee of 47 plus 905. They owe 99.52 then.
Okay.
And you can send it right out to them that way. The other thing you can do here, we have a different thing we can do. If we want to pick and choose, if I want to choose and say, look, this one guy owes $473. I want to not send him a late notice. I want to send him a disconnect notice. All right? You can just choose him and say, if you're not hear from you by, let's say, the 12th, and you click on select a letter, you say late notice or disconnect notice, whatever it is, you click on preview. This then will send a letter out to him. So here it is, Richard Clark, for his account number. It says a record show that payment of your bill is past due. It'll be necessary to disconnect your services on 3/12 if we don't receive your 473 by 3/11. And you can edit these letters, by the way. Do anything you want with them. So you can change the format of the letters or anything you want. The idea is you're going to get more information to him about if he doesn't pay it, he's going to have to be charged a late charge or a reconnect fee or anything else at that point.
Okay.
Any question on that?
Nope.
Okay. Billing goes just very simple. You have a bill date, you have a due date, you say it's got to be due by the end of the month, and you're saying I'm billing from 2/1, let's go back to February, 2/1 to 2/28 for the whole month, and I say calculate the bills. It'll calculate the bills for me, showing me each bill and how much the bill is going to be. On here, you can see everybody's bill on here, and I can print a register now. And a bill register is your proof bill. When I click on there and open that up, you'll see it'll show me every bill and what every, oops, I didn't go to UP, I shouldn't have gone there. Should have gone to a PDF, not to open. Well, that's really weird. Let me set up, hold on, let me just, it should be coming to a PDF, not to Microsoft Word. Let me go to here. Open. Now that's really strange. I know what it is. Give me 1 second. I just got to set the parameters on my program real quick.
Okay.
And let's go here and programs, default programs. All right, and let me change that. I was playing around earlier. All right, give it a second while this loads. So how's your day going?
Actually, a pretty slow day, and after
Good.
the past few weeks, I've needed that.
Oh, good. I understand that. So what do you think of the program here? Tell me, is this something you would consider replacing what you have now?
Yeah, I'm pretty impressed with it.
Good. How many, you do about 1,500. Our cost is, do you know what you pay right now for maintenance fees? A yearly fee?
I'm wanting to say that we just got a bill for like $3,000.
All right. Let me tell you what ours is going to be. Have you paid it yet? Shouldn't
I
pay
don't
it.
think so. Mm-mm.
Okay, because our cost is our cost is $425 a year.
$425 a year.
Yes. And
For
let me see,
maintenance. Okay.
almost there. PDF.
So that's like maintenance and customer support.
It's everything. There's nothing you would ever be charged for.
Okay.
All right. And the reason we do that is because most of the time you don't need them. You know.
Mhm.
How many times you call it? Well, of course, if the program is really tough to work, then it gets hard. Almost there. It's going to PDF.
Yeah. Well, I've been working with the program for long enough that I've learned how to go around the problems or, trick the computer to do what I want it to do. I don't know. I do like the program, and they do have really good customer service.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
The system does not.
They have to have good customer service.
Yeah. Their system does not come close to touching what your system does.
No. Now, a lot of times you can continue using their system for doing all the stuff that you do other than utility billing. All right. And because we don't do the other stuff, all right? But you could continue to do that, and we can actually interface our program to their program as far as the linking the two together, all right? Let me go down to PDF. Where's PDF? I'm on,
Okay, but as far as the billing, if I were to go with this for the billing, we would have to switch the collection side over to this also.
Not necessarily. I mean, you can still. You're talking about the credit card one.
Just any of it, like the collector up front. That processes the payments, takes the checks, the credit cards, the cash.
Yeah, I mean, the credit card is the only one you'd have to change over, but that's minor at this point. That takes maybe 5 minutes to do. It's not a big deal. But you're probably paying an arm and leg for the other one. All right.
Yeah.
You're paying. Do you have to write them a check every month?
I know that we did, and I know that they did some changes because it was costing a small fortune. So
Right.
I know that the customers are paying like a percentage now, and some of them have to pay like $6, $7, $8 to use a credit card.
I know, and that's ridiculous. Especially if it's less than $100 that they owe. All right. So here I'm back here now. Let's go back here where I was at here. Let's see. Where was I showing underneath that one? Oh, billing. All right. So go back to billing. I'm going to calculate the bills now, and I'm going to tell it to print the bill. This time when I open it up, it won't use my Microsoft Word. There it is. So now you have your bill register. Your bill register, you can do it like this. This is a complete detail of every bill that's going to go out. All right? So you have water, sewer, trash, and how much it is. If they have a previous balance and didn't make a payment, this is what they would owe. Then at the bottom of this, you have a total breakdown then of all the you'll see how many bills were sent out, for example, 45 bills, and how much it was money for water, how much for sewer, how much for, all that would be your totals out that would come out at the bottom end, all right?
Mm-hmm.
You can also then click on print bills, and you would print your bills, and you tell it to open up, and it'll print your bills for you. All right, and you can print bills. You'd be surprised how fast it goes, but you can print the bills from 1 to 750, then from 750 on up, or whatever you want to do. It's up to you how you want to do that. Then the last thing you do is what we call the closeout. That is what writes the data to the history of the customer. Until then, you can make any change you want to make. All right.
Right. Okay.
We can also do a summary on all of our reports, by the way, because you have so many clients. Sometimes you don't want that detailed report. All right. So we do a summary, and when you do a summary report, even on the bill register, then it's one line per customer. All right.
Oh, okay.
What? Compact. Saves a lot more pages. The other thing we do that is nobody else does is that do you have like a bill register or proof bill?
A bill calculation report, yeah.
Right. Now, once you are fine with that, and you let's say you didn't print it out and you went on, could you ever recover that?
Not easily.
All right, so here's what ours does. Whenever we do this, we do a history. And if you see here, I have every bill I ever did. It says billings. Then you see also it says bill registers. It has every bill registered. So if I wanted to go back, and I do a lot because I do the demo here, but if I want to go back to January 31st and do the one for January 31st and open it up, it's still there. I can do that. All right? If I want to get a detailed one from back in December here, there it is. So we always say that. Now, we also do the one where it says bills, and I'll tell you why we did this. A lady called me up, she says, Dennis, I got a problem. I said, what is it? We already did our billing, we did our closeout, we had 500 bills, we took to the post office, I opened my door, and they rolled out into a mud puddle.
Oh.
All right? And I can't, and most systems will not let you go back and reprint the bills.
Right.
Right? So our program does. If you go to billing here, and I go back to my August billing here, for example, and click on my August billing here and open it up, you see that every bill is right there for me to go back and print that out. So I told her all you have to do is put the bill stock in there, load it up, and tell it to print again. That's all she had to do, and it was done. Okay. Another gal, yesterday, her printer died on her, and she says, I have the file, but I don't have a printer. And she brought it down to the UPS office with the stack of bill cards and put it on their printer and told it to print the bill cards and print it right on that printer down there. She didn't have to have the program to do it.
Okay.
So kind of neat on that too as well. The letters, just last thing I want to tell you about is under letters. When I go into a customer maintenance here and a company setup, those letters that you saw, like late notice letters and stuff like that, under letters, you can change and edit those yourself. You don't have to have somebody else do it. If I want a late notice here, you can see right here, there's my letter, or indicate your bill is past due. If I want to change that your bill is 90 days past due, all I have to do is click in the box up here. This is called the edit box. And go in here to where I want to put in here 90, D-A-Y-S, and past due. You see how fast that changes down here?
Mm-hmm.
And then I just go ahead and save that. And let her save. So that's how simple and easy it is to do these things. The system is really made for this century. It's not some. See, most of the programs were designed. Even the one you have was probably designed back in the late '90s. All right, and so much has changed on the program since that time. See, we back up for you. You don't have to worry about any backup. We back it up every single day, and we keep that backup for 30 days. Not only that, but we also have it encrypted, so nobody could go in there and if they went in there, they'd see just computer gibberish is all they would see. So right. It's encrypted, it's backed up, so you don't have to worry about backing up on your software because and if you've ever experienced in 16 years where you lost a computer or lost a hard drive, trying to recreate that data was like a nightmare, all right? And this is why we do that. We do the backups for you, and we put it all out there, and we keep everything from day one till the current date, but we do every day 30-day backup, so you have actually 30 days of complete backups from day one that you start with the program at all times, so which is kind of neat to do. Is there anything I haven't shown you you'd like to take a look at?
No, I think that gives me a pretty good idea of what it does.
And there's more things. I mean, there's obviously more things we can do on here. Like under reports, if I wanted to send notices to customers, I can go down here to send notices, and I can send either a welcome letter or I can send a disconnect notice or anything like that. And I can choose to everybody on the street if I wanted to. And let's say I just unchecked that and said everybody on Circle Drive, I got to send them a note about the fact that we're going to be tearing up Circle Drive but putting new water lines in. I can do that. Right? So a lot of nice things I can do with the program here. The only thing I didn't show you here, I'm going to show you right now before I go into the price of the program, is how do they pay online if your business is closed and it's a weekend or whatever, okay? So what we have here is down here at the bottom. You see down here at the bottom where my mouse is right down here? Mm-hmm. All they do is go to www.ub, for utility billing, -pay.com. When they do that and hit enter, up will come this screen right here, register as a member. They have to have your code, and then they register their first name, their last name, their account number, their email, their username, and their password, and re-enter the password. They do that. Once they do that, then they can go over here and sign in. And they sign in, they go DEL, let's use Dolores, DELRES, and let's use her password. And I'm going to log in. When I log in now, what'll come up here and show me her Dolores Black and how much her account number and how much she owes, $92.31. All right. It has a welcome letter to her, and it could be describing what they're doing, how to do anything you want. And you click on Bill and Pay up here. When I click on Bill and Pay, what that does, it comes up and shows me. Now here's what you're going to love. They don't have to pay with a credit card to do this. Every client can do this in the system, whether they have credit card or not. They come in here and see their previous balance, their payment they made. Here's the new bills that they got. And here's what they owe. Then they can see up to a year's history of every bill they ever had for last year. They can even click on the bill, and they can actually reprint that bill out if they wanted to. This is the one from October.
Mhm.
So they can click on that bill. They can also see every payment they made. Then they can decide, do I want to pay by credit card or e-check? And this is the same thing that you did last time. Let me get a little drink of water here. They can say, okay, I want to do the credit card, and then they click on apply, and it goes right into the same thing we did last time. Right? So again, and if they do that, the payment will show up in the morning for you to know that the payment was already made on the account.
Okay.
All right. That's it, except for, let's talk about the cost. All right. I'm going to bring up the program here. This is our corporate website, all right? And I'm going to go to where it says get a quote, and we're going to do a quote for you. And it's pretty simple. Your quote right here, you can see right here, we do it by number of clients you have. You're at the highest limit right now. So our largest client is roughly about 4,000 customers, all right? Right now, you can see here, if you have 200 clients, 500 clients, 1,000 clients, or 1,000 plus. And we limited that to $1,345 is what it would cost you for the program.
Okay.
All right?
So that's the
and then
program.
That's pretty reasonable. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Then your yearly maintenance fee is $450. So once you buy the program, then it's only a $450 a year after that. All right? So I'm going to put that in here as a cost. Then I'm going to go down. The only other thing, there's a $65 one-time activation fee for the credit card transaction. There's no yearly fee, no monthly fee, no charges to you whatsoever. All right? I'll put that there. And let me put in here, this is for Bowling Green. And this is going to be sent to you. That's why I'm doing this.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to write really fast.
No, and I'm going to send this to you.
Okay.
And, all right. What's your P.O. box there, Angie?
We actually don't have one. It's
all right. What's your address?
16 West Church Street.
All right. And the city is Bowling Green?
Bowling Green. Mm-hmm.
What you're going to see here, I'll show you in a minute, and that's Missouri? Or where?
M.O.
M.O., okay. And zip code?
63334.
And I got your phone number.
573-324-5451.
All right. And your email address?
SAKS, as in Sam.
FAKS. Is that right?
No. From the beginning, it's S.
Oh, S-A.
Yeah,
Yep.
Korte.
Yeah.
At SBC Global.
Is that right?
.net.
Is G Global G
LOBAL.
.com or .net?
.net.
.net. I knew I was going to get that wrong. Okay, so let's read that again. It's S, then it's AKORT at sbcglobal.net.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
All right, now I'm going to send this to you, so you're going to have this in the email in a couple seconds here, okay?
Okay.
All right, let me get this for you, and I'll show you what it looks like, too, as well. So any question you have in the meantime while we're waiting for that?
No, I don't think so.
All right. Well, let me tell you how this would go. As far as if you said, "Hey, I want to get this program." All right. Let's assume that that's going to happen. All right. So what would happen here is this: I would talk to what was the name of it? Thoroughbred. Is that who you're with? Which one you have right now?
Oh, Encode.
Okay, you have Encode. Okay,
Uh-huh.
so I would talk to Encode. Encode would provide me with a detailed export of your data. All right, and then we would take that data. Put that in here. There we go. Okay, oops. Wrong one here. Let me get that. There it is, Bowling Green. All right. So I would take the data and convert the data for you into the program, so you don't have to worry about any conversion. You don't have to be doing any work on your part at all. All right. And so technically, if we got the data from you on a Monday, and on Wednesday morning you'd be able to enter payments on the new program. That's how quick it goes. All right, so that's what. Now you can see. Here's what you're getting here, Bowling Green. Here's your email address right here. Oops. Let me take a copy of that. And you can see down here below, it shows you here is $13.45, like I said, $65. So it's $14.10 plus the $14.50 for the maintenance fee. All right. Let me put this out here for you. I'm going to email this to you right now, so you have that copy of this too as well. And send. Okay, so very simple, very easy to do. It's not a big deal. And really speaking, between what you do in the utility billing and what you do in your accounting, it's probably about in a month's time, really 10 figures. You're going to put in how much you took into your accounting program, total amount of money that came in as payments, and break it down to water, sewer, garbage, right? That's what goes over to there. So it's an insignificant thing to do. It's really easy to do this. So it's not a problem, and we can interface with the Encode type of program on that one. But this is something you have to talk to about the council. This is something you can't decide on your own at this point in time.
Right, yeah. I would need to talk to the Public Works Department supervisor, and
Sure, absolutely.
And we'd have to go before the board, and yeah.
Absolutely, it's not going to be done here in a matter of days. But at least the idea here is that you got a chance to look at something here, and whether you buy one now in the next few months or the next month or 2 months, that's up to you, all right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're here, so if you have any questions, don't hesitate to call us.
Okay. And now, what about training? If we were to get this system,
That's included. All right, that's included in the prices. There's no extra charge for training. And what we do is we have 2 trainers, and both of them were city clerks for the last 20 years. And so they retired, and I hired them as trainers. So they understand your world, and they understand my world the same way. So they will do the training and get you up and running on them in no time at all.
Okay. So would they come to the office and
No, they don't have to do that.
or would it be online?
They do it just like what we're doing here today.
Okay.
Only a little bit slower than I am.
Online training. Okay.
Yep, online training. Because otherwise, they pay. Oh yeah, come on, do the training down here. Then they charge you $750 a day,
right.
And then they charge you plus the hotel rooms and everything else. It's crazy. You don't need that kind of thing. It's not that hard a program. I mean, I would be willing to bet that I could give you the program right now, and you could figure it out yourself pretty easy without any problem. But we feel that the training is a good way to get a foot up on that.
Right.
So.
Okay, and the screen that I'm looking at now, it looks like there's some handheld readers and some touch readers on there.
Right, we do sell handhelds and touch.
Is this a screen that I can come to and I can look at this stuff, because we are actually looking at possibly replacing our handhelds?
Okay, now that's good. Now we have 2 types of handhelds that are here. You have touch readers on yours, right?
The ones where they have to manually enter the numbers in. There's a key.
Okay, they have to. There's 2 ways of doing this. All right, they don't have pads on the outside of the house that they touch, and it automatically sends the readings to the handheld.
No.
Okay.
They have
so these are your best bet then. These here are Scion Readers. All right, now if you look at the Scion Readers, then I'll just show you what they look like here. A little bit bigger picture here. All right. they're like this. They got about a 2-inch screen by about 2 inches, like about 3 inches. And what it does, it comes up and shows the address you're at, and then it says enter the meter number, and you just punch in the number, and you hit enter, and it automatically will post it in there. So what happens here is this: these handhelds right now, you load up before they go out and get the readings. All right, it'll load up all the information in the handhelds. Then they go out there with the handheld, and it comes up in the order they walk their route. All right? And what's nice about it is that if they punch a number in and it's wrong, the computer will tell them it's wrong. All right? It'll say, no, that's not right because it's too far out of the range of what their average is. All right? But it'll let them go on if they want to, but also that gives them a chance to reread the meter then at that point. All right? Then what they do is they bring this back to you at the end of the day or at the end of when they're through reading. You hook it back to the computer, and in 15 seconds, all your meter readings are posted. All right?
Wow.
Now, these are nice. What's nice about these is that you could get, you see where it says under 500 customers is $525 a piece? You could get 3 of them, and you could actually put about $650 on each one of them, and you'd have your things covered. So you don't have to buy the bigger one. But how many people do you have to go out and do readings?
2. I have 2 guys.
So you could buy 2 of these right here, and that, because what they do, that'd be 1,000 accounts, or actually 1,200 accounts. But you could load up one with up to 500, go out and get the reads, come back, reload it with the other 500, and have them get the next one, and so on like that. You can too. So you don't have to buy the big one. You can buy the small one, and you buy 2 of them, and that will do a really great job for you.
Okay.
All right. But they're simple, easy. But you come back here. Just type in. All you do is back here. Just to let you know, it's just www.softlinedata.com. Softlinedata.com. And when you hit enter, it'll automatically come up to our website.
Okay. Yeah, because I'd like to print that stuff out too and run those by the Public Works guys.
Sure. If there's any questions or any problems, don't hesitate to call me. My name is Dennis. I'm at my number will be on that paper, but it's 1-800-657-0880.
Okay.
All right. And if you have any questions or you come up, when's your next council meeting going to be?
Actually, they just had one Monday night, so it'll be next month.
All right. You got plenty of time. If you have anything come up, you give me a call, and I'll help you with any questions you have.
Okay, that sounds great.